how it's possible, but the producers of The Bachelor found a way to make week 4 even more dramatic than week 3 when we lost Sarah. So week 4 starts off with everybody being pretty happy. Sarah's gone. There's no drama in the house. Even Queen Victoria is sort of being treated better, and she's being a little bit nicer to people. Things are good. People are getting time with Matt. And then it's a rose ceremony. And so everybody's a little bit on edge sort of before the rose ceremony. And Queen Victoria is having a one-on-one meeting with Matt. And in that meeting, she appears to be being a little bit more expressive and vulnerable and transparent. And she is saying, hey, I am always able to sort of chase what I want and be transparent, and I can't with you because I haven't had enough time. And while she's saying this to him, Chris jumps in and goes, I'm sorry, Matt, I have an emergency for you. We have to go. So first of all, I don't think it's a coincidence that they interrupted Queen Victoria. I feel like the producers recognize that if she is unable to express herself and be understood, it leads to more frustration and more social fireworks. So I think they intentionally interrupted her when she was talking with Matt. Well, Chris rushes Matt out to the curb and goes, look, this show is all about you, and ultimately our goal is to help you find love. And your future wife could be in that mansion, or your future wife could be in this limo. And the limo pulls up, and 5 more women hop out of the limo. So all of the women that have been there for now 3 weeks or 4 weeks now are super unhappy about the fact that there are more women to compete with. They were especially unhappy when the first one out of the limo, his name is Brittany, hops out, and she is super aggressive. She walks in, says, Matt, I know we're late to the party, but I want to make up for lost time, and immediately starts making out with him. So the OGs, the old women that are in the house, are pissed. So anyway, the new group comes in. There's tension there, and I would say that the tension makes some people perform better or more admirably, and others not so much. So Katie, I think, did pretty well. Katie was one who said, look, this sucks, but we're all here for the same reason. We can get along. Let's move on. And Anne, instead of sort of falling in line and sort of appreciating the process, was just outraged. And she starts a rumor that Brittany, that first aggressive woman, who she sort of superficially knows in Chicago, is an escort. No clear data to support this, but says, I think she hangs out with rich men, and I think she's an escort, or I've heard maybe she's an escort. So this is a sort of devastating blow, as you can imagine, to Brittany. But when I heard it as the audience, I first thought, oh, well, maybe she is, right? That would make sense, and I wouldn't put it beyond the producers to bring in an escort to create more friction. And then the show goes on, and you hear Brittany talking about what this means, what this rumor could mean for her private life moving forward, how her family sees her, the impact on her career. Like, it's a devastating blow. And so as the more I think about it, the more terrible I think it is that Anne would have the audacity to make that kind of accusation. I even think, even if it's true, even if she knew for sure that it was true, I don't know if national television is a place where you out that. And I just think it's like, we're going to forever wonder if Brittany really was an escort or not an escort. So it's great for the show. There's lots of drama. Everybody's pissed at each other. And Queen Victoria is in her moment. In the last few weeks, she's been ostracized. People have been kind of afraid of her. No one wants to talk to her. She's super aggressive, and no one knows how to push back on her. But now that there's these new women in the house, and Victoria is very intentionally attacking them, all of the original women are falling in line behind her. And it reminds me of a schoolyard, right? Like, you don't want to be bullied by the bully, right? And so what you will do is you'll do everything you can to sort of avoid that. And the second you can align with the bully and prevent further attacks, you'll do so. And so the second that the women in the house saw that Victoria was focused on another group, they all aligned behind her. So that was the big drama of the week. But I think it's also important to talk about his date with Michelle, which I think went really well. Actually, I think it was the best date that he's had. And for my money, I would bet that he's going to take her to the end of the show. It was just like, I feel like his other dates are all sort of about him pushing the women to be vulnerable and him sort of evaluating their level of vulnerability as a marker for their connection. Like, if you share a lot with me, then we must be really connected and must be a good relationship, so I'm going to move forward with you. Which I don't think is really a fair way to approach it, right? Versus with this relationship with Michelle, I think he just had fun with her, and I think they had good conversations, but I don't know that he was leaning on her to be more and more transparent. So they go on a date. It goes well. There's a couple of notable things. Matt's pants were way too small. I don't know how he even got into these pants. They're like, I don't think they were jeans, but they were so tight. So super tight pants. And they go on a hot air balloon ride, which the balloon is roped down right in front of the mansion that all of the women are staying in. So the balloon goes up. Michelle is, of course, like, could not be more into him, and they're making out in the balloon. Well, they happen to be right in front of where all the women are out on the balcony of the mansion. And sure enough, you wouldn't believe it, somebody left a bunch of binoculars just like on the balcony for all of the women to look through to watch the makeout session. So it just created so much more animosity as they all watched this private date to see Matt, canoodling with the new girl, Michelle. So the drama continues. I am looking forward to Monday night, and I'll see you then.